Well, Wagwado Focorinos. It's your boy TMK, back at it with another live stream and commentary, and this time is a little bit extra special. We have a 2-hour endurance here at Mount Panorama, and we'll go for a full day and night cycle as well. So they only do 1-hour races, so they've doubled it for the 2 hours, because I believe they're about halfway through the championship. Okay. So, I am gonna leave you with it, and I will be back at the beginning of qualifying, and we'll leave you with the sights and sounds of the beautiful GT3 class. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So we are Alrighty, well I hope you're all enjoying the action so far. Okie dokie, just making some minor adjustments before the race starts. And of course, I hope everyone watching today enjoys the events unfold at the 2 hour at Mount Panorama. And RV Motorsport yet again up at top. We had K Pincher doing a really good race, but unfortunately had a couple of incidents. And we've got NXTGEN's Hankin in current P2, very close to P1. And we will continue to watch the events unfold here at Mount Panorama. And of course, jumping on Bean with the legend, Mr. Bean. Let's see what he can do as he comes up to the first corner here at Mount Panorama. And it looks like Hankin at the front of that pack. Lexus maybe making way, not sure. Looks like he got a good one out of the pits though. So we'll see how the rest of this progresses as Hankin just enters that long right hand corner after the very long straight. Whatever this man is on, I want some. It looks like it's on friggin' fast forward. Wow. Mr. Guitar Rich. Big fan of the guitar myself. Hope you're well. Some Class A driving right there. I think his force feedback, I think his wheel had a problem. Or it was just the end of the session. But nevertheless, it is time for TMK444 to do his job, as all drivers are now leaving the pits. We've got Lucan first out, followed by NXTGEN's Hankin. So, with 20 minutes of qualifying, that puts the drivers in a... What was I going to say? That puts the drivers in position, ready for the race start. And we have a 2-hour race today. So that's going to be an interesting one around such a grueling track, it must be said. Especially this section that we see Lucan and Hankin now traverse. Skyline into the S's through the dipper and exiting Forest's Elbow and putting all 500 plus horsepower down on these GT3 cars down the Conrad Straight. To be completely honest with you, I don't know what that corner's called because it's not on my map. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. So, the chase is there? I think it's the chase. It's extremely blurred. The chase. Yes, it is. I'll do. Hell Corner. So drivers now exiting Hell's Corner and now up to the second corner of Mount Panorama. Griffin's Bend up to the left-hander of the cutting. We will of course jump onto the other drivers. 410, 66. Oh, NXTGEN Bean, the legend, back in the 488 Ferrari. A lot of time for this dude. Absolute legend. Number 66, there we are. And we have 3 cars now entering Skyline and S's up to the Dipper and through the final corner where I want to be putting all of those horsepowers down, through Forest's Elbow and up onto the Conrad straight into the chase. So we've got a little bit of a right-hander here, which obviously you want to be keeping that pedal fat to the floor. Up to the chase. Got to get that right, otherwise it's going to be game over for a few drivers. And up to the penultimate corner of Murray's Corner, as we see the GT3 Mercedes number 66 with the chrome livery. Big fan of the chrome liveries, I must say. We'll try camera set 2 now. You can see, I think that's Mr. Fighter in the grey and blue Ferrari. And another Ferrari exiting the pits as all drivers now make their way up to Mountain Straight and to the right-hand corner of Griffin's Bend. We've got Hankin currently in P1 with a 2:01.848. It's a pretty good time for the first qualifying lap set. No track limits. It's an issue. And then we have RV Motorsport. Who's in front of the 66 Mercedes. And thankfully a car just went into the pits, gone a little bit too hot into there, so he's going to be now going into the pits, just making sure he's out the way of any drivers as the rest of the 18 strong grid now make their way through Mount Panorama, looking to put a qualifying time down. And Mr. V-Spec in the number 111 Lexus. I thought he wasn't in the pits, but he's in the pits. And Kevin in the 34 Lexus, currently being chased by Sakin in the number 1414 Honda. Again, it's awesome to see the Honda as he goes a little bit too hot into a very tricky corner where the road dips away from you and completely changes the dimensions of the car. Nevertheless, they must continue and put a lap time down, as it looks as though Kevin was a little bit hot coming out of Forest's Elbow there onto the Conrad straight. So I'm not sure whether that means he's capitalised on his lap, but nevertheless they work up towards Chase and then Murray's Corner, and then they're going to put that lap time in, so we'll stay on board and we'll see whether number 34 can put a lap time down. Qualifying, I don't know whether this is his out lap, but nevertheless we will find out, and we have the number 14 in pursuit, so 2 cars to watch here. And through Murray's Corner, across the start finish. And no time, and no time. Okie doke. Number 9, we've got number 3 about to cross. Bleaky in the Bentley. Can he capitalise on a +3 159, no he cannot, 108. Yet to put the time down, so we've got 4:10, so RV Motorsport is back round again as he exits the chase and pushes all 500 horsepower up to Murray's. Can he do anything on the .714 of Hankin? No, he cannot. Number 2 as well. We've also got NXTGEN's Bean about to cross the line. I've just gone on Beaky. That means that Bean has indeed pushed himself up the rankings, now in 8th position. As he now goes into the pits. Number 44. Hankin just crossing, and we've got the number 66, Gnarly. So Stewart, NXTGEN Lager in the 46, Bentley. Only 2.6 behind the very fast number 44 Audi. I'm sure he can capitalise on that, but nevertheless, we will continue on as the drivers now make their way up to Mountain Straight. And I have just noticed RV Motorsport in the 410 Mercedes has done what he does best, and that is knock drivers off their relative position, now putting the 410 Mercedes in provisional P1 with just over 9 minutes left to go. So the green car give way to Mr. Fighter here, see whether he can capitalise on his current 1.248, which isn't that far off on such a big and demanding track. Nevertheless, we will find out as the number 46 of NXTGEN's Lager, Stewart, now making his way through Murray's and crossing that start-finish, able to capitalise on half a second there. See Mr. V-Spec in pursuit of the 46 Bentley of Stewart, and the leader here at Mount Panorama in pursuit of the number 11 Lexus driven by V-Spec. Some great drivers here. So now as they come towards the end of the Conrad Straight and up to the chase. Downhill, back to an uphill braking section and exiting chase up to Murray's. Can 46, 11 and 410 do anything on their times? Let's have a little look at the leaderboard here. So he's knocking half a second off per lap in the 46 Bentley, and 410 still in the lead. NXTGEN's hanging 375 behind the quick 2 minutes of Mount Panorama. And Leli 9 in the awesome looking Bentley, I must say, rocking a fourth position, now fifth, just knocked off by Nali or Pincher. Couldn't remember which one that was, but nevertheless, Lady 9 was fourth, fifth. Again, we've got pretty solid lap times here, so we're going to be treated to a nice race. So with only 3.5 minutes left to go, plus a remaining lap for anyone that's wishing to capitalise on the remaining lap of the qualifying session, ready for, it says round 5, I believe it's round 6, I'm pretty sure round 5 was last week. Nevertheless, we're here at Panorama. And we've got RV Motorsport in the 410 Mercedes with a 21404, and K Pincher now knocking Hankin off the first row of the start here at Mount Panorama, putting him on the second row of the grid next to Nali in the 66 AMG. Not much in it at all between those top three runners. Not much in it at all between the top four, but a 10th is literally a whisker Very blink of the eye, if you will. But nevertheless, with 2.5 minutes to go now, what will we see unfold as the number 9 Bentley makes his way through the chase and up to Murray's? Can he put a time down? Only 1:131 off the very quick time of 2:01. So it appears that that's a no. NXTGEN Lager yet again knocking. Every lap he does, he knocks more and more time off. So as the race inevitably continues, I would imagine that Stewart in the 46 Bentley, who I believe, I can't remember if he took first place or second place in the last race, but nevertheless he took a podium. He ran a solid race, I believe he did. I might be having illusions here. But he is a brilliant racer, and as we nevertheless continue the 2-hour race here at Mount Panorama, I am sure that he's going to find his zone, get in the flow, and we'll see what he can do, and we'll see who he can reel in, as he's exactly the same time as V-Spec in the number 11 Lexus. How incredible is that? I'm absolutely gobsmacked when I see times that are exactly the same to the 1,000th or 10,000th. It's utterly incredible. And the 34 Lexus is still yet to put a time down. He is manoeuvring his way up towards the chase as we speak. So I'm going to continue to watch the Delta. No, I'm not. I'm going to jump on board with him instead. Where am I? As he now enters Murray's corner, can he put a qualifying time down? It appears not. That could have very well been his outlap. And that means qualifying is over, but nevertheless, drivers out on track have this opportunity to capitalise. Kevin's still yet to put a time down. We've got the number 2, Lucan. We are going to jump on board with the pit connoisseur and see whether he can improve on a P9. In pursuit is the number 98 of Jamo and the 946 of Urban Turtle. Nevertheless, we are on board with Lucan, as I'm sure he's going to treat us to some donuts in the pits. He now comes up to Murray's corner, hopefully clips that apex, gets as much of the power down as he can, maximising track limits. He has not been able to capitalise. Number 98. Nope. Nope. 946. Nope. The number 66. Nope. And so, that brings qualifying to a very abrupt end there. Not much happening on the remaining lap, but I think if I remember correctly, last week someone was 6th, 7th, and the last lap put them on a podium start. So, as all drivers now make their final checks and adjustments ready for a 2-hour enduro, we still have the number 34 car out on track, so I don't know whether that's going to need a little bit of time as that guy continues to wave the yellow flag, letting us know that on the complete other side of the world, number 34 Kevin has decided to park his car through the dipper. And again, I think we're going to be treated to a fantastic race. We have some incredible drivers. We have some very evenly matched drivers. There we go. It gets me. It makes me giggle. Oakley dokley. So, I believe that we are halfway through the Next Gen series and or season, sponsored by Liquimoly and 7mate. We are here at Mount Parorama on a very sunny Wednesday, and I can smell some of the crowd today have brought their barbecues and their hot dogs, as they know they are in for a long haul today with a 2-hour race. And with 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left to go over the window of a race start and or a green flag for a formation lap. All drivers will be making their final adjustments, and be interesting to see what happens to the weather. You can see there all the cars dropping and or going back up, going into the menus and or not. But we are 1 minute and 44 seconds away from the 2-hour race here at Mount Parorama, and I've got to be honest, I'm excited. It's going to be a good one. Got Kate Pincher on the second row next to Hankin in the 44 and identical Audis. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Both very quick drivers. And on the front of the grid, we've got Mr. Fighter in the number 7 Ferrari, who's not usually at the top of the grid for the race starts, but nevertheless is kicked the number 77, 44, 66 and 9 down a spot. And in the mid-engined 488. And we've got a Bentley and a Mercedes on the third row, with Nali and Leli and Hempy and Bean on the fourth row. Hukan, Lucan and JMO in the fifth. Mr. V-Spec in the number 11 Lexus, next to, of course, Next Gen's Lager. They run an exact time to the 10,000th. So it's very interesting. We'll be keeping an eye on these two as they battle it out with 2 hours of panorama and a 24-hour in-game time to go. It looks like we are about to be trekked to the formation lap, and Leafy next to Sakin, and we've got Bleaky next to Urban Turtle and Nick next to Kevin, bringing up the rear of the GT3 pack here at Mount Panorama. What I believe is round 6. Next Gen's Season 3 of the GT3 World Tour. My good God, are we going to be trekked to some action, and of course, most very, shall we say, deciding actions are taken place in the opening laps of all races, as obviously if you can get yourself in front of 2 or 3 cars at any given chance, the events of a 2-hour race with so much to consider, such as traffic and, well, you know, if you race, you know it's just not as straightforward as just getting to the finish line, which of course is the main goal. but there are so many things to consider here. We've got a pit window, we've got 2 hours of racing, so pits are going to be a very interesting alternative to what these guys can choose to do, as all drivers now enter and exit the cutting into Quarry Corner and Reed Park. Up towards Reed Park do they go, led by the 410 Mercedes. We're going to be treated to a good one today. And Paul the Helicam man has yet again joined us for another race for the Next Gen season. Hello Paul, I hope you're well. I'm sure you can't hear me up there under the noise of the propellers, but nevertheless we appreciate you joining us today for round 6 of the Next Gen GT3 Tour, as all drivers now make their way through Skyline, the S's and the Dipper, and up to the penultimate of those corners, Forest's Elbow, which is a very tight corner, and you've got to get this right because it is the second, well, could even be the longest straight next to Mountain Straight after the first corner here. And all drivers now entering the chase with a very long straight into a right downhill descent. You want to be early on the brakes here or you are going to miss your very sharp left-hand corner. And so all drivers will now be asked to line up, which appears to be the case, as 2 cars become one there. Does make me laugh. I don't know why a simulator decides to let you ghost through cars, but nevertheless, it's probably saved some incidents, as all drivers now ready lined up at Mount Panorama for the GT3 Next Gen World Tour. We're waiting for them red lights to drop. And it's a green, green, green. All drivers head up to the first corner here of Mount Panorama, Hell's Corner. We've got 44 on the left side of the 77 identical Audi, and the 410 Mercedes looks to have got a clean getaway and had a few tenths there advantage, as all drivers look at what a beautiful sight that is. We've got Next Gen's Lager and the number 11 Lexus driven by V-Spec, as all drivers are very close to each other. We are most certainly going to be tread to some action. Oh, what a beautiful sound and sight this is, as the Mount Panorama is underway. Hopefully we get no drivers making any mistakes. Into Reed Park we go, and now up to Sulman Park, the left-hand corner that you need to get this very, very, very carefully right, because you can see there you've got a little bit of a dip in the road. If you get that wrong, it is going to send your car flying. You've got to get the suspension settled, you've got to get the weight balanced. And 44 putting pressure on the 77 identical Audi. Oh my good god, are we already being tread to an absolute stonker of a race? And Hempy in the number 99 Lexus now in pursuit of the number 2 Lexus, Lucan, who is only 655 behind the 69 of Next Gen's Bean. My good god, look how close everyone is. This is incredible. It looks like we've got a couple of back markers that have unfortunately maybe had an accident or two, Sakine and Kevin perhaps, but nevertheless we must continue on as now the beginning of the pack make their way up towards the chase as the cameraman does his best to keep up with the 500 horsepower weapons of these GT3 cars and the incredible aerodynamics which allow the cars to move through the corners at incredible speeds. And it looks like we've completed first lap with RV Motorsport still in first position, and the pit lane just opened. So here we are. We have a 2-hour race. Oh, check this! My good God, that looks so beautiful. Under the Audi Sport banner do they go. We've got two Lexuses side by side. Oh, I thought that was the case, but nevertheless the 99 Lexus, I'm not sure he conceded, but nevertheless he did allow the other Lexus to move in, and it looks like we've got the 46 Bentley in pursuit of the 99 Lexus. My good God, are we being treated to some action today? And I believe we've got V-Spec in pursuit of the 46 Bentley. Both drivers just giving that wall a little kiss. It looks like Lucan, it's a horrible corner to make a move. He decided to back out on that, and I think that was the most worthwhile decision when you're considering that you've got 2 hours of this brutality to unfold. Save your energy, make your move for the next time, and look at this. It looks like he's wanting to make a move on NXTGEN's Bean. Oh my good God. And the number 9 Bentley, a beautiful looking Bentley with the black and where's that gone? Black and lime green colours. Oh my good God, check this out. We've had contact. Okie doke, well that's most certainly changed. Oh my God, what's happening behind us? Gotta wait for the Delta to update, but it looks there's definitely been some incredible change of positions here, and the closest fight currently is Leafy hunting down V-Spec, and yes, he is indeed hunting down NXTGEN's Bean. So NXTGEN Bean was in front of NXTGEN Lager by a good few positions. We've had some contact. And obviously that has most certainly changed the positionings. I was just trying to watch that unfold. Pincher now in 5th position, nearly 4 seconds away from, oh, number 18 Audi going in way too hot in the most awful of corners there into the dipper. We're going to jump on board with the leading pack as they now make their way up to Conrad Strait. The 66 Mercedes keeping his distance from the very fast 77 of K Pincher, who I'm sure is going to be looking to make a move, and who can Lucan in the tail. It looks like he's maybe going to make a move. Oh no, he's going in the pits. So that means that K Pincher now in 4th position In pursuit is Lucan in the number 2 Lexus. Followed by another Lexus of Hempy in the number 99. And Nu's going to be treating some action, and my God, are we. Rick showing some love to RV Motorsport. Still in first position now, gapping Hankin in the 44 Audi by 2.1 seconds. V-Spec now 0.3 behind the 46 Bentley. And I know Stuart, who is driving the 46 Bentley, has incredible toothache right now. So God bless his soul for being here. And he is most certainly head down, eyes up, trying to keep his distance away from V-Spec in the 1-1 Lexus. And we have Sakin in the 14 Honda, hunting V-Spec down through the dipper, and now exiting Forest Elbow up to the Conrad Straight. Can any drivers get a better run out here as they come up to the chase? He's looking like he wants to make a move. He looks like has he made that happen on NXTGEN? It looks like he has. So now Sakin is behind the 46 Bentley, and the 46 Bentley is chasing the 11 Lexus of the only 2.49 now. Jesus. Nope, Delta's just updated. So it looks as though drivers are beginning to find their relative positions. It looks like we've unfortunately had a couple of accidents, no safety car, so we've just had to get that damage repaired, and it looks like Kevin now exiting the pits. It's always a very difficult thing. So, Hankin only a 2.2 behind RV Motorsport. We've got an hour and 50 minutes left to go, so that's one to look out for. 10 seconds is not a lot of time at all over 1 hour 50 minutes. And Mr. Fighter, unfortunately made an error on, I mean, I personally find this a brutal track. I know how difficult it is to drive this. For 2 hours, I mean, gee wee. Hats off to anyone that could do this without any accidents. So far, the 44 Audi looks pretty untouched and unscathed. So I would imagine that there is no damage on the 44 Audi. And the 946 now. Oh, we've got cars everywhere. I'm just waiting for the Delta to do what it's got to do. So perhaps then in what is a very demanding track, 46 Bentley might be struggling somewhat with his toothache and number 11 Lexus really taking the fastest line through there. At least it did that instead of trying to make the corner, because if you're not going to make the corner and you try and make it, it's going to be a fail. But it looks like Sakin in the 14 Honda is doing a pretty solid race. And considering we've only just started, he is most certainly putting pressure now on the number 11 Lexus. He's passed the 46 Bentley. And it looks as though he is hunting down the 11 Lexus. Can he make anything happen? It looks like he's going to show his nose. Is he going to? No. Just applying that pressure then to the Lexus, which is a good tactic with so much time left to go. Just look how quick the 410 and 44 are. They have left the pack. We've had the off from the number 7 Ferrari, now putting him in no man's land, but also in a podium position. He's in a pretty comfortable position right now, as 4th and 5th position are battling it out a few seconds behind. Poetry in motion. Now, who's that chasing NXTGEN Lager down? Jamo in the 98 Ferrari. Have to just jump on board here with Hukan Lukan, because he is most certainly running a pretty decent race and doing his best to catch up. Match the 77 Audi. We've got a couple of different sort of cars under play here. Looks like Pincher was caught up in the initial accidents there, looking at the front end of his Audi, but nonetheless is staying out on track, as pitting may indeed ruin the race. Whether he gets that done, whether he gets his damage done when he enters the pits, we'll have to see. But Hukan Lukan in my favourite position, P4, hunting down the podium position of the 77 Audi. Can he make anything happen? As the race here at Mount Parorama progresses. Bentley got a run! Woohoo! Who can? Lucan. Whether that was just a better run out of Forest's Elbow onto the Conrad Straight, or whether the power plant that is the Lexus. I have to check the specs. It looked like he was seriously gaining, but nevertheless couldn't really capitalize on the time he had to get side by side with the 77 Audi. But again, we have time left, but if he has the pace and the 77 Audi is going to be slowing him down, then it just looks like he's gaining right towards the end of the straights. It just looks like that's where the Lexus's legs can stretch just a little bit more. And then we've got the sections here where the Audi and the mid-range and finesse of the aerodynamics perhaps would capitalize against the Lexus. And it appears that the Lexus is needing to use all of the track's width, whereas that more nimble and aerodynamic Audi, as they go through such an awkward section here to Skyline and the S's, through the Dipper and up to Forest's Elbow, planting all of those horsepowers down. Is he going? It looks like he's pulling him in, look. That's incredible. So through the look at that, Jesus. Is he going to make a move? Not yet. So perhaps then the Lexus is most certainly the power plant, but the Audi just has just that touch better handling. So what an interesting fight that's going to turn out to be. Jamo now in pursuit of 46 Bentley, driven by Stewart. Can he get past the front-engined power plant that is the Bentley? Or can the extremely nimble and agile Ferrari 488 GT3 through the cutting and through Quarry and Reed do they go, up to the left hand of Sulman, where you need to be very finesse the accelerator and steering wheel. But it looks like we've got a pretty decent fight on our hands here as the 98 Ferrari continues to hunt the Bentley down as they make their way through the S's, and now the Dipper up to Forest's Elbow. Can Jamo in the Ferrari get a better run? He's going to need to against the power plant that is the Bentley. I would assume the Bentley is very similar to the Lexus. As 410 and 44, nearly 30. So we're nearly 30 seconds ahead of P3 is the 410 Mercedes. The 44 Hankin is still holding on with 1 hour and 40 minutes left to go. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, whether anyone makes a mistake, whether anyone needs to put time in. to repair their car as Lucan in the number 2 Lexus makes his way to the right-hander of Griffin's and the left of the cutting. I really hope that's... I don't think this is watching me. I doubt he is. But he has done an absolutely incredible job. Lucan continuously behind the 77 Audi. He's got a few seconds to make up now though as he comes up to the chase and the penultimate corner here at Mount Panorama with just over an hour and a half left to go as he makes his way under the Liqui Moly Bridge, and it appears that it is decided to repair the damage. So this is quite an interesting NXTGEN being not too far behind the 77 with Pincher. But as I was saying, with such a long race and such a demanding track, damage is going to be a thing for quite a few drivers. The initial 2 or 3 laps are of course out the way, so that's meant that anyone that is left out on track is just finding their sort of relative positions and relative fights, if you will. Looks like V-Spec's doing an incredible job as he was down at 11-12, now up in 6th, hunting the 69 Ferrari of NXTGEN Bean as we see him just appear in shot and now exit as NXTGEN's Bean now heads up to Skyline through the S's and up to the Dipper. Can V-Spec close in on the 2.8 and can Bean close in on his 2.1? We will soon see as Sector 2 comes to a close. So both drivers in the Lexus and Ferrari are both catching up to the Bentley. NXTGEN being a 2.1 now 2 and V-Spec 2.8 now 2.2. So with Bean's 2 seconds quicker, and now again both catching up. So we are going to see some action here unfold for the fight for P4. As they chase number 9 down of Leli in the awesome looking Bentley. Third position is 30 seconds now as we close into a quarter of the race here at Mount Panorama for NXTGEN. those guys are running an absolutely solid race. And of course we'll jump on board with the leader of Mount Panorama's 2-hour endurance, RV Motorsport in the 410 Mercedes, now heading up to Hell's Corner and entering the mountains straight up towards Griffin's. We see Sakin in the Honda exiting the pits, and Hankin still doing a cracking job, not even 4 seconds behind after 30 minutes have unfolded here. But all drivers most certainly do make their mistakes, so that does not mean that these positions are final, as I'm sure the pit window will make a huge difference. And NXTGEN is now only a 0.81 behind Jamo, so Jamo looks like he's took that position away from NXTGEN. I said NXTGEN was most certainly one to watch, and he is, as he always most certainly provides some entertainment working his way through the pack, but like I say, he's suffering from severe toothache, so it's great to see him on track here at the 2-hour event. And look at the laser scanned track of Mount Panorama as the Ferrari 488 and the Bentley GT3 cars, followed by Leafy in the Audi there, make their way up to the Mountain Straight and Griffin's Bend. Under the Pirelli Bridge, and to the right of the beginning of the chase, downhill as they begin the brakes. Again, it's a horrible braking section as we come into the chase, as Mount Panorama is most certainly built on a beautiful scenery. Check. The length of Mount Panorama . Yeah, I thought this was a long track. So Spa is 7.004 kilometers. So let's just say 7 kilometers. And this beast from the east, Mount Panorama, is 6.213 kilometers. So it's not that far off the legendary Spa. I would probably think this is a little bit more challenging than Spa, but of course Eau Rouge is a brutal corner to say the least. Coming from a long straight downhill into another very long straight, as these drivers now exit Forest's Elbow and onto the Conrad Straight does NXTGEN's being go under the Pirelli signs, as them yellow flags will not stop being waved. Like the 77 of Pincher. No. So I just saw the yellow dot as Pincher in the 77 Audi made a little bit of a mistake there perhaps. Again, tyre wear is most certainly becoming an issue now, and the sun's going down, so you've got tyre wear and you've also got temperatures. As you can see, there is 0 sun on the track now, so ambient temperature is going to be very cool as darkness now descends. But this dude is seriously quick. See? Jeez, man, like this guy. Most certainly pushing that Audi to its GT3 limits as we go through the Amarok V6 signs, sponsored by Volkswagen, and under the Pirelli sign, sponsored by Pirelli. We're going to jump on board with Paul the Helicam man as we watch the very quick 77 Audi traverse his way through chase, and now up to Murray's corner. We are going to begin to see the lights come on for the track. I believe they've just started. Where's V-Spec? Wow, and who can Lucan in 13th position? I mean, maybe people are obviously starting to go into the pits. That absolutely confuses me with regards to position and the Delta waiting to update. But nevertheless, we have the number 11 Lexus V-Spec hunt down the 66 AMG Mercedes GT3 of Nali as they make their way under the Pirelli signs and through the chase. Can V-Spec make anything happen against the front-engined Mercedes? Through Murray's do they go? I'm sure the force feedback is going crazy over this very fast and bumpy straight of Mount Panorama up to the right-hander of Griffin's Bend. That Lexus backfiring. It looks like he's doing a pretty solid job here against the Mercedes. And I've got to be honest, I find this a very, very difficult section. The entirety of Skyline into the S's and the Dipper. Forest's Elbow, not too bad, but it's very easy to get on the gas a little bit too early. Look at the legs on this Lexus. The Lexus is most certainly proving that it has the superior engine here. As he's just coming off the brakes. Mercedes backfiring there as well. What a beautiful sight that is. Just touching the grass, which means he's lost a few tenths there to the Mercedes as they enter the penultimate corner here of Mount Panorama. To Murray's and now Hell's corner as the lights continue to darken as the sun goes down. Not even well, just over a second. Let's just say a second behind the 66 Mercedes. Maybe 1 hour 22 minutes left to go. Most certainly been tread to some action. We've now got 4:10 and 4:4. Still chasing down the back markers, which is now V-Spec in P8. So he's back marker, but he's still P8, which means that the number 4:10 and 44 have already made their way through the back markers. Whether that's through the pits or whether that's through on track, still had to do it. And V-Spec now, so he's just under a second, gaining a little bit of time. And NXTGEN's Hankin now following pursuit of the number 11 and 66. And Hankin can most certainly see that Lexus in his helmet. There he is. And all lights are now beginning to darken as the sun goes down here at Mount Panorama, and the Liqui Moly sign lights up, as does the Fanatec and the track street lights. Headlights of the Audi lighting up the sponsorship boards left and right as he enters Hell's Corner and into Mountain Straight. He can still see the tail lights and the reflection to the sidewall there. What a beautiful sight that is. Mesmerizing. I don't know how anyone can go through that at that speed. NXTGEN's Hankin can, as can the 410 Mercedes, it seems, as we close in on the halfway mark with a lap of 1:32. Coming up to the chase, as if you remember on the last lap it wasn't this dark, so we're now going to go back under the Liqui Moly sign. What a beautiful sight that is. Under the Liqui Moly sign we go. Fanatec sign illuminated up. We're going to see the headlights of the Audi and the Mercedes now light up the sponsorship boards to our left and right. What a beautiful sound that is as he enters the pit straight and Hell's Corner onto Mountain Straight. He can see that P1 in his sights. And gnarly now, number 66 only a 0.3 behind V-Spec, so that means V-Spec's made that move, as V-Spec was originally in P8 chasing down the 66 Mercedes. We've now got 66 Mercedes chasing down V-Spec, and what was a 0.3 and now a second. It looks like V-Spec is most certainly finding his rhythm. You can see the glow-in-the-dark signs now coming to life, lighting up the Shannon's sponsor board with under 1 minute and 17 seconds left to go, or just over, if we want to be politically correct. Onto the comrades, straight up to the chase. Does V-Spec go? Can Gnarly do anything? No, he's lost another second to the power plant that is the Lexus. And Leafy chasing down the Ferrari. Of JMO in the 98. Well, it looks like the sun has most certainly gone down now, as just see the street lights beckon their glow. It looks like the Ferrari has conceded his place to Leafy, even though he is in position. Perhaps Leafy's just well and truly in the flow, got some pace. There you go, sir, get at it. This is very kind of the number 98 Ferrari there. See the suspension of the Audi at work. That for real time. And it does look like he is pulling away from the Ferrari here at Mount Panorama. Again, a very difficult track really to master. And we've got the 108 Bentley of Nick making his way through Skyline and through the S's, down through the Dipper. What's going on? Where are you? Oh. Yep, so, okay. I was wondering where he was. So the number 9 Bentley of Lili is now being hunted. Look at the UV lights on the inside of these cars. Beautiful. Big fan. Whoa, look at that exhaust port glow. Beautiful. So, Next Gen Lager, number 46 Bentley. Oh, who's that? Side-by-side action there. I couldn't see it on the Delta, but that's because it says it's 78 seconds behind, but they are actually indeed fighting it out. So I'm going to jump back on board with Next Gen Lager. Show the man a little bit of love here at Mount Parorama as we are coming up to the halfway mark. We've got the UV lights on in the side of the GT3 Bentley. I'm a big fan of the GT3 wing on the Bentley. It is such a beautiful piece of spoilery through the S's up towards Forest Elbow. Hear the wind going nearly closing in on 200 mile an hour. As we see Next Gen's Lager, Stewart in control behind his Fanatec rig. Driving from England. It's got to be said, he's running an absolutely solid race because he's currently in P5. Now, if anyone's taken notice, he does this a lot. Now, he's lost positions to V-Spec. And I believe JMO, but now V-Spec in 7th position. The window is now open. I thought it was already open. We've got another pit window open. Interesting. Whether you can open and close the pits more than just once, I did not realise that. Nevertheless, as they make their way through the S's and down the Dipper through Forest Elbow, where you've got to get this right. You really do. It's the longest straight next to Mountain Straight, Conrad and Mountain. They're both very long. I think Conrad Straight, this one is a touch longer and a little bit more demanding as we come back downhill. We've got a swoop right, a little bit demanding, making sure all four wheels are maximising traction, and the Pirelli softs bring the GT3 car to a halt, and under the Liqui Moly sign does Next Gen's Lager go and into the pits. So 46 now entering the pits. So this is interesting because he's now in 4th position. And the number 15 entering the pits. So the 410 is chasing down 108 of Nick. And in 3rd position. Now, whether Hankin is left a pit or not, with a pit window of 20 minutes. So is that 3 pit windows of 20 minutes? That's pretty cool. Flashy McFlash Flash. Don't know if that was at me or if that's just because he needed to put his lights on. Nevertheless, we are just going to jump on board with the 410 as he has now passed the 108 and is now hunting down the number 9 of Lili. And NXTGEN being in the 69 Ferrari in between, or in front of, 66 and 44. So Hankin now leading the race. If he's pitted, then 410 has most certainly made an error, and a huge one at that, but it's only 18 seconds. So I assume that the 44 Audi is left to pit. See the LCDs flashing in first position in the horrible white colour. I am a big fan of the LEDs inside. I love the glow in the dark numbers on the side. Under the Liquid Molly sign, do we go into the penultimate corner of Murray's? Not taking the pits. RV Motorsport. Just waiting for the Delta to update. Now 17 seconds, so he has caught up to Hankin by a second. So that's the second time he's flashed. I don't know whether he's just telling those guys, I am P1. I'm most certainly thinking that is what he's doing. I am P1 and I am coming through. Please make a way. Obviously, RV Motorsport, 17.8 seconds to go. My good God, are we going to be tread to a good one here? Now coming up to the back markers as he was previously flashing him down the mountain straight, and most certainly coming up very close. What's going to happen here? Makes his way very nicely through one as he flashes him by, saying, "Go on, kid." And that means he's now chasing down the 66 Mercedes of Nali, who is a back marker to Hankin. Under the Liquid Molly sign we go, and there it is. It's the pit entrance for Hankin, the current leader. Of the Mount Panorama race, which means RV Motorsport making his way through Reed Park and up towards Sulman. What will we see here between Hankin who is in the pits, and that very disorientating left right, left right, left right, left right, left right, up down, up down, up down of the S's, the Dipper and Skyline. Has he got a good run out here? And what's going to happen with NXTGEN Hankin still in the pits, and Hempy ensuring he defs P1 out, and there P1 is now leaving. Hempy unable to flash the leader of the pack down, which means very, very interesting. So we've got different tactics at play. If it is 3 pit windows of 20 minutes, then that means he is now entering the pits. Well, then Hankin has got a pretty solid lead then. I don't trust these deltas. Okey-doke, so we've got Hankin making his way through McPhillamy Park and up towards Skyline in the S's. And we've got the 410 in the pits. He was 20 seconds behind. He's still in the pits. Hankin's the other side of the map. Still closing in. So does that mean that Hankin has got a pretty tasty lead in P1, putting NXTGEN's Bean in P2? Whether they left a pit, I'm not sure. I don't quite understand the deltas as of yet. But nevertheless, Hankin now making his way through Conrad Straight and up towards the chase, with 410 now leaving the pits. Just ahead of the number 7 Ferrari. Now in 6th position. There's been a lot of change of events here. V-Spec number 11 in 11th. Love those numbers. We've got some pretty decent fights on our hands. And that is indeed V-Spec hunting Lilo down. It was. I really hope that's not Commentator's curse, because this seems to happen far too often. So he was... ah, dear me. He was chasing down, well he still is, he's not that far behind at all, and he's showing incredible pace against the number 9 Bentley of Lee Lai, a 1.568 behind JMO in the 98 Ferrari. And NXTGEN Lager, who is currently in 5th, everyone's starting to come in and out of the pit windows. He's now in 8th position, hunting Lucan down in the number 2 Lexus. And 410 now in 5th position. Keep pushing. And there we get the halfway mark given by the pit crew here for round 6 of the Mount Panorama NXTGEN Season 3 GT3 World Tour. As we see Stuart make his way through the S's and down the dipper. Let's see what exit he gets. Of Forrest's elbow as he is chasing. Is that Bean? I'm so confused with this Delta. It is Bean. So NXTGEN Lager is in 8th position, so it's a lap down. Okay. Nevertheless, we've got Hankin in the lead, followed by NXTGEN's Bean. This is incredible. Right, NXTGEN Bean just gone into the pits. Okay. So does that put RV Motorsport back up top if he is green and Hankin is green? I'm assuming the green means they're pitted. So I'm assuming they have to pit at least once in each window. And the number 7 Ferrari had an incredible start, showing that he's a very capable driver, but unfortunately Mount Panorama takes the lives of many has done today with only an hour gone by. So it says it is a lap behind Hankin. This is very, very interesting. NXTGEN being in the 69, 2 corners ahead of the 410. But now, I'm waiting for the Delta, 44. So literally just above us on the map. 44 goes into the chase. So, oh no, it's put him in 3rd position. I'm going to stop saying what position these people are in because the Delta is doing what it does best. So we don't have any side-by-sides. The closest... Okay, Pincher in the pits. And Sakin in the 14 Honda, making his way through the Conrad Straight. I'm going to assume that we're going to see the sun begin to appear soon. No, we're most certainly not going to see the sun come up because we have the stars out now. How beautiful is this? So we're blessed with a star-soaked sky for the halfway point. For the 24-hour in-game time. Loving the red LCD. Mr. Urban Turtle. Just over a second. No increasing. Oh. We have Hempy in the 99. Liking your LCD colours, sir. Chasing V-Spec down as we just see him in the camera shot there as he now enters Hell's Corner. Oh, we've got yellow LCDs, we've got red LCDs. Loving it. Like he did a pretty good job there. The power plant, that is the Lexus, chasing the other Lexus down of V-Spec in current P10. So we've got a bit of a fight for P10 here. Now, where are you? We've got the number 77 of Pincher, 21 seconds behind P5, who is currently in the pits. And yet he is now behind, and look like he's gained a touch on Hankin, who is leading. Pincher is known to be extremely quick. I think he has won and most certainly took some podiums. And most certainly proved himself last week. But we'll see what he can do with just over 50 minutes remaining of the GT3 World Tour for NXTGEN. Felt like Hankins made a 10th there. Slipstream, this is most certainly where it's going to come into effect by the time you're there. Now, obviously there's a lot to consider here, such as tyre wear. But it looks like Pincher has made the move on P1. A front marker. Nevertheless, Hankin appears to have a pretty solid lead, so he doesn't really need to push. Pincher most certainly seems to be pushing his Audi to the limit every time I've seen him.
The pit window is closing now.
Okay, so pit window has closed. I'm going to assume there's going to be one more. Another 20-minute pit stop, which will then bring us to a close, as morning will most certainly arrive, as we are still blessed with a star-soaked night sky. We have Jamo in the 98 Ferrari, only a 1.564 behind the very quick 46 Bentley, so we've got a mid-engined Ferrari there. If I could jump on board with NXTGEN, I should be able to catch 98 Ferrari as well, as we now see all the boards begin to light up. Through the chase and up to Murray's. Okay, so where's 44? He's not that far behind 410, and 410 is only a 1.6 behind NXTGEN's Bean, putting pressure on Bean in the 69 Ferrari. as they now make their way onto the Conrad Straight and up towards the chase. What's the number 40? 410 Mercedes going to be able to do here over the next lap? Mount Panorama in his front-engined Mercedes, a very capable GT3 car indeed. And it appears as though morning is now upon us. The stars have gone away, the sun's masking it with its frequency, and we are on board for the battle for P2. It most certainly becomes daylight now. Running a little bit wide, and he's having to take that off cut just to make sure he stays in control. So of course that will be a track warning, 3 of them, and a drive-through penalty for the 410 Mercedes. Nevertheless, he continues to chase down the 69 Ferrari of NXTGEN Bean. What can he do? And Hempy now, a .777. In pursuit of P9. The number 11 Lexus. Are they going side by side? It looks like Hempy's just got that position on V-Spec as they make their way through the cutting and the right-hander of Quarry. The sun most certainly is picking itself up at Mount Panorama. We've most certainly been treated to some action today, haven't we? Beautiful yellow LCD screen there. As Paul the Helicam man gets a beautiful shot through the S's and down through the dipper into Forest's elbow. Can V-Spec get a better run here? Looks like he's fallen back most certainly a few tenths. 0.4 it was saying, now a 1.5. So Hempy is running a pretty solid race here. Now in 9th position at Mount Panorama. Second in the Honda, just in the background of the camera shot as it chases Hempy down underneath the Audi Sports sign and up towards a pretty heavy braking section. Now we can see the Mount Panorama Bathurst etched into the field of Mount Panorama as the cameramen continue to chase these drivers down, as I am sure fatigue is becoming a thing now. Hempy making his way through chase and up to Murray's under the Licky Murray sign. Ali in the 66 chasing down P144 Hankin, the Audi, as Pincher seems to have made his way through the field. Jamo being hunted down by Fighter in the 7 Ferrari, who was certainly at the top of the leaderboard at the beginning of the race, but fell victim to the brutal circuit of Mount Panorama. He hunts down Jamo in the identical Ferrari, who is hunting down the front-engined twin-turbo V8. That is the Bentley GT3. So we trek to a beautiful site here at a morning. At the Mount Panorama racetrack. With under 40 minutes left to go. NXTGEN Lager back in 5th position, but most certainly being hunted by the 2 Ferraris. So the battle for 5th is most certainly well underway, as we see the Bentley enter the right hand corner of Griffin's at the left of the cutting. Looks like the 7 Ferrari is most certainly applying pressure on the 98 Ferrari. Can he catch up in the slipstream? He looks like he most certainly is. I don't know that he's got enough time to put it down the side, or just having to hold on as the weight is wanting to throw that Ferrari everywhere down such end of a downhill braking section under the liquid moly sign. Do both Ferraris go, still in pursuit of NXTGEN Stewart, only 2 seconds behind. Showing his nose. Stewart just exiting shot there, as he might be able to pull away from this fight for P6. Fighter showing his nose, he's continuing to apply pressure. Well, this is the closest fight that we've got on track for now, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to stay on board with these two Ferraris as they make their way through Mount Panorama and into the horrible skyline, and through the S's does the very agile Ferrari go, but yet again the power plant that is the Bentley Can he get a run this time? It looks as though Jamo has got a bit of a better run though, but the Ferrari of Fighter is most certainly going to pull him back in with the slipstream as we see him close into the distance of the top of the spoiler. Now look, there we go, that's slipstream at work for you as they make their way through Comrade straight and up to the heavy braking section of Chase. It looks like Fighter's most certainly got himself in a comfortable position here, wanting to put pressure on the 98 Ferrari as they now enter Murray's. Continuing to watch the rear view mirror, continue to close down on the Ferrari. What a fight we've got here. So he's made that happen. He's took that position away from Jamo. Just waiting for that Delta to update. And so now Fighter is hunting the 46 Bentley down. Now he's made his way through the fella Ferrari, and with only under 35 minutes left to go, we've got NXTGEN's Hankin in P1 now in the pits, as is Leafy. We've got NXTGEN's Bean in P2, saying he's a lap down, but about to pass Hankin in the pits, as he now enters Hell's Corner, followed by the 108 Bentley. Whoa. 108 Bentley has transferred his consciousness into another dimension there, it seems. But nevertheless, the race must go on. With the 14 cars left out on track, we've still got Hankin in the pits. Pit window isn't open, not sure what's going on there. But K Pincher in third position, closing down on Hankin in the pits. Pit window's not open, so I don't know whether that's damage that he's having to traverse his way through there. But now we've got the 77 Audi making his way through the cuttings, and now Quarry up to the left-hander of Solman. Into McPhillamy and the horrible section of Skyline into the S's and the downhill of the Dipper. But my God, has he got that under control. As now it appears Hankin has left the pits, which has put him in fourth position. My good God. What's happened here? So, so we've got NXTGEN's Bean in the lead, 40 laps down with closing into 25% left of the race, only 30 minutes left to go. Okay, Pincher now in second position. Got no idea what's happened, but nevertheless, this is motorsport. And NXTGEN's lager is only not even 10 seconds. It's a 9.966. Is the number 46 in pursuit of the 44 Audi of NXTGEN's Hankin. So Elliott now making his way through the chase, and the number 11 in pursuit. As is Leafy, and it seems that both those Audis were in the pit and left the pit at the same time there. I don't know whether they just wanted a little bit of a coffee break. But as the sun now makes its way past the horizon, it's going to warm the track back up. So these drivers are most certainly going to be into the flow now. Whether they can set a fastest lap within this final 30 minutes as the sun-drenched track will most certainly, as it's most certainly beginning to get its way onto track, is the sun. NXTGEN Hankin most certainly hitting the apex there. Now making his way through the cutting. Putting him 25 seconds behind P3, which is gnarly in the 66 Mercedes. I'm sure these are all going to change again, but how they're going to change, I don't know. Pincher only 7 seconds behind NXTGEN's Bean in P1, who is about to pass. My good God. Marshall waving a blue flag there, letting the number 9 Bentley know that there is a faster driver in pursuit, which is the 77 Audi. So NXTGEN's lager seems to be in a pretty comfortable position. As number 46 makes his way through Griffins. This is most certainly the closest battle that we have right now, and of course we will jump on board with the leading pack soon as the race comes to a finale. But nevertheless, look at the action that we have here between the Audi, Lexus and Ferrari. As that mistake has given the Ferrari a few tenths there, putting him into the swing of the action. Oh, V-Spec just unfortunately making a mistake there. Again through a horrible section of corners. Under the sign and up to the penultimate corner of Murray's. Does Lucan go under the Liqui Murray Bridge and up to Hell's Corner? So we've got K Pincher now 1.775 behind NXTGEN Bean, and with only under 19 minutes left to go, can he make it happen? And again, there hasn't been another pit window, so there's just been that one pit window. Some pits were open at the beginning, but the pit window with the, I'm assuming, mandatory tyre change in the middle of the race has given way to an incredible turn of events. So we've got P4, number 44, 444, love it. And NXTGEN's Lager, what a solid race he's run, now in P5 with only 18 minutes left to go. K Pincher with a back marker, number 9, Bentley Leli. He's got to get past him to get to Bean first, but Leli's running a pretty solid race. So whether we see him flash or not, I am not sure. But as we are coming to a very close end, will we see Pincher make that move? On the P8 number 9 Bentley. Looking like he's probably want to get a run now, so we might be seeing some side-by-side action between a Bentley and the Audi. As Pincher's pushing Audi again to the limits, losing that 10th that he's just gained on the Bentley back marker, again making his last stint of 16 minutes a little more difficult. Number 99 looking like he's just spun out on the Forest elbow. Unleashing all 500 plus horsepower. Under the Pirelli sign, up to the chase. Can NXTGEN's Bean hold off the 77 Audi? As the back marker now lets the 77 through. With 15 minutes left to go, will we see the 77 Audi take away the P1 from NXTGEN's Bean? And P1 with the 69 Ferrari, what a solid race he has run, being in P1 with only 15 minutes left to go of this 2-hour endurance at Mount Panorama for the NXTGEN Season 3 GT3 World Tour. We're going to find out. Up to the cutting, into quarry do they go. Exiting cutting into the right hander of quarry. And Reed Park to our right. Into the left of Sulman. Into McPhillamy, where you've got to be balancing the throttle, which is why you can't hear the roar of that Audi, but you can now, and he now decides to shift down as you hear the beautiful, glorious V10 Audi GT3 sing its heart out, chasing down P1, and I know Bean is most certainly going to defend that P1. You most certainly do not need to give position away to anyone, as you can just see him push down the rear end of that Ferrari as they now hurtle their way down Conrad Straight under the Amrock V6 sign. Do they go? He's going to be in the slipstream of the Ferrari. Looks like it's going to be the lower ends of slipstream, but nevertheless he's on the slipstream. Both very nimble cars. What are we going to see unfold? As under the Liquid Molly sign do he go. And of course I will jump back to them, but we're just going to quickly have a look at the leaderboards, with Urban at the rear, followed by the 14 Honda Sakine, followed by Leafy, and in P11 is the number 11 Lexus V-Spec, the Legend, and number 10, P10 is the number 7 Ferrari, in P9 is the number 99 Hempy. Wow, I love these numbers. The number 8 Leli 9 in the 9 Bentley. As we see Pincher continue to apply pressure. We have Gemmo in P7, Lucan in P6, NXTGEN's Lager in P5. What an incredible race he's run with incredible toothache. And Elliott now only just in front in P4, the 44. Again, look those numbers. In P3 podium, number 66, the AMG Gnarly. And Pincher in P2. barely holding off Hankin. As he's pushing yet again, but we're gonna see he's just run a little bit too hard. No, he's absolutely heartbreaking. Again, he's gonna have to work all that time back. With 12 minutes left to go. And now the Bentley coming to say hello. Audi's singing his heart out as it passes the TV camera set. And again, we just see him being in front, 2.8. He has to make up with under 12 minutes left to go. Delta now saying 2.8. Okay. So Urban Turtle in the 946 Lexus. What a pleasure it is to have him with us today, driving for NXTGEN's Season 3 GT3 World Tour. And of course Sakin in the awesome looking Honda. As the brake discs match his car, and Leafy with a little bit of a redesign. I'm sure we're going to see new bodywork for the next race in 2 weeks' time. I believe that's right. And V-Spec in P11, what a legend he is. Making his way through Hell's Corner and up the mountain straight up to the fast right-hander of Griffin's Bend. Under the Audi Sports sign do they go. Sakin giving way to V-Spec. NXTGEN drivers all showing respect to each other as the 2-hour race comes to a close here for the NXTGEN Season 3 GT3 World Tour at Mount Panorama with 9 minutes 36 seconds left to go. We have the number 7 Ferrari, Mr. Fighter, making his way under the Pirelli sign and chasing the 66 P3 of Nali. I mean, all these drivers are incredible. They've most certainly all shown that they're very capable, but this is an extremely challenging track, and all drivers have been asked to perform 2 hours. So, you know, we all have our own pros and cons with being able to do something for that amount of time, especially physically as well. So it's just a pleasure for all these drivers to be out on track and put this into the event it has been at Mount Panorama, as it seems that they are actually going side by side now, as the number 7 Ferrari takes position over P3. And the legend Hempy making his way through Skyline up to the S's. In P9 is the 99 Lexus. Beautiful looking GT3 Lexus Aero. And I think that's NXTGEN's Bean. So NXTGEN's Bean and Pincher are coming up to a back marker. This is going to throw a spanner in the works, so I need to get on board with that. So we're going to get a little bit of love to the 98 Ferrari Jammo, who's run an absolutely solid race, only in 8th position. Well done, sir. And in the number 9 Bentley Leli in P7. Lucan, the pit connoisseur in P6. And NXTGEN's lager with the 46 Bentley still in P5, just behind what was P1 of NXTGEN's Hanky, and very interesting to find out what's happened there. And of course, NXTGEN's Hanky and still in P4, the number 44, as he makes his way under the Pirelli sign. Gnarly the 66. In pursuit is Hankin and K Pitcher. Down, so we'll jump on board with NXTGEN Bean as he makes his way. Is that gonna slow that? So he's let him through, and now we're coming up to a very difficult section of Mount Parorama through the Cuttings, Quarry, Reed and Solman. Most certainly making way for the front runner pack is the 99 Hempy. Again, NXTGEN showing an incredible amount of respect to each other. Oh shit. Don't know who that was, but that's, oh my god, I can't believe that's just happened. But all the cars have just hit the side at some flinging speeds that could have even created damage. So all three cars, especially the front runners here, P1 and P2, we've got a podium just exiting Forest Elbow onto the Conrad Straight. Can Pincher do anything as they make their way up to the braking section of the chase? This has been an incredible race, and what a race it is. What a pleasure it is to see these boys fight it out. Now we've got the Ferrari going defensive against the 77 Audi. One away. Pincher has took P1 away from NXTGEN's Bean as they enter Griffins and go towards Cuttings, the left-hand corner. NXTGEN's Bean has run an absolutely solid race, but Pincher just taking that position away as we saw all drivers have a colossal crash trying to avoid the car on track, but it looks as though, as all drivers, look at them all bunching back up again in the final 4 minutes of the NXTGEN Season 3 at Mount Parorama, and under the 7 News sign do they go. And I don't know whether 4 minutes is enough, but Pincher most certainly is under pressure to hold on to P1. Whether NXTGEN's Bean can make anything happen in the Ferrari, we're most certainly going to find out as he exits Forest Elbow and hurls his way down, chasing P1 down the Conrad Straight under the Amrock V6 sign. Incredible race this has turned out to be. Okie doke. Well, with under 3 minutes left to go, we've got K Pincher in the 77 Audi treating us to an incredible amount of drama against the 69 Ferrari of NXTGEN Bean, who's run an incredible race and a well-deserved podium P2 there. Not really in threat of P3 of the 66 Mercedes AMG, but with 2 hours and the massive events that have happened, it's been an incredible race, and Nali's going to be taking home P3, and it appears that Hankin is only just under 4 seconds in P4, is the number 44, of P3. Can he make anything happen with just over 2 minutes left to go, as they now make their way through Reed and up to Sulman Park. Looks like he's made his way past, not really holding up the 66 Mercedes. Hankin catching up to a 10th, but can he get any more out of his Audi with only 93 seconds left to go? NXTGEN's Hankin fortunately able to avoid any damage to the back marker, who was making his way out of the way. Again, the NXTGEN guy showing an incredible amount of respect. 3.766. I can just see, there he is, he's just right there. Can he do anything with 63 seconds left to go? Only a 2.5. K Pincher 55 laps in, now gapping P2 by a 2.518. Can Hankin do anything? As he enters Murray's. Only 2.7 to go, but I'm going to assume that this is most certainly the last lap. We've got K Pincher. Yeah, this is going to be the last lap. So K Pincher 2.5 in front of Bean, who's took a few tenths back off Pincher in the 77 Audi. NXTGEN's Lager in the 46 Bentley. Again, run an absolutely solid race as he crosses the start finish and makes his way through Hell's Corner onto the mountain straight. What a pleasure it is to see him take P5, just under the very fast NXTGEN Hankin in P4. The Amarok side he goes, and Jamo in the 98 Ferrari also following in pursuit, 4 seconds behind the number 9 Bentley of Leli, and the race is coming to an end. V-Spec in P10 now, was 11th, the majority of that, taking another position up of this 2-hour event at Mount Panorama. And Pincher,
The leader has finished the race.
finishing the race, taking home a P1 of this 2-hour event. NXTGEN Bean taking home a P2. Congratulations, good sir. And Nali crossing that start finish in P3, with NXTGEN's Hankin taking a P4. Not quite able to take a podium, but nevertheless still an incredible race he has run. Have the 46 Bentley making his way through the chase and only just crossing that start finish line, proving he has run an absolutely incredible race as he always does, making his way back through the pack, taking home P5 just under NXTGEN's Hankin. Congratulations, good sir. You also need to start flashing your lights. And Lukan side by side with 46 Bentley. pack making their way through. Number 18 of Leafy, number 7 next to Cross. Oh no, he's going in the pits. So congratulations to P1K Pincher. So all drivers are letting the 2-hour race unwind. As the number 18 Audi makes his way through chase. A beautiful looking chrome Audi. Repaired that front end, looking much better for the end of the race there. As he enters the final corner of Murray and over the start finish straight. What a pleasure it is to always see that lime green chrome number 18 Audi GT3 as the number 9 Leli next to Cross. He's going into the pits. NXTGEN's been under the Liquid sign. It's been an incredible race. It's been an emotional one. It's been a lot of action. Congratulations to everyone that's taken part in the NXTGEN Season 3 GT3 World Tour. I believe there's 2 weeks till the next one. If not, it'll just be next week. As we see the rest of the pack join there. Yes, RB Motorsport not finished the race. We've got a DNF for RB Motorsport there. That's, I'm going to assume, affects his standings because he's one of the top runners. We see the number 69 Ferrari enter the pits there. And that brings us to a close with a podium of 77 Audi K Pincher, 69 Ferrari, NXTGEN Speed, and the 66 AMG Gnarly. Congratulations to you all. You've all won an incredible race. Always a pleasure being on board with you, NXTGEN Hankin and NXTGEN Lager in P4 and 5. As if I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is absolutely what we want to see at the end of 2 hours. What a legend. And Hempy making his way into the pits. That's me. I'm going to sign out. I've been the Macabre King, TMK444. Got some pretty interesting events coming up. Obviously we've got the, I'm pretty sure this was round 6, but nevertheless we've got round 7 next week, or next 2 weeks for NXTGEN on a Wednesday. And on Saturday we have the HHTCR Championship on GT Sports, led by Hugh Hattrick, who has interviewed many legends such as Super GT, Tidgney, Rascal Rabbit, and many other YouTube stars. It's a pleasure to commentate for his league and also have a safety car. For the Gran Turismo Series 1 a month, Saturdays 8 PM I will be commentating with a safety car, and Sunday we have the Macabre Cup. Only 2 races left to go, and this time we are at Brands Hatch
Give it all you can.
with the number 22 safety car on track. But I've been the Macabre King. I hope you have enjoyed this race. It's been emotional, and we'll see you next time. Ciao ciao.